I think this week's vlogs are going to be a little bit different. We have a situation on our hands with Hercules. He's in the hospital and he wasn't feeling well this past Sunday, which today is the 16th, so the Sunday before the 16th. I don't know what day that is. Today is Wednesday. I was leaving for work and Sam was asleep. I was trying to call the boys because I wanted to give them a treat before I left for work. And usually when they hear like the rustling of like their treat bag, or they can hear, how dogs are, they know sounds, then only Bandit came. And I noticed Herks, he didn't seem like himself the past couple of days, but at the same time I honestly thought he just had like a version of, I don't know, doggy depression or something. And he would kind of act not interested in stuff, but then 2 minutes later he'd be interested in something again. He didn't come that morning when I was trying to give them their dog treats, and kind of made me really scared. So only Bandit came. I gave Bandit his treats and I was at the bottom of the stairs, trying to call him, making all these rustling sounds with the treat bag. He was just under the bed and he wouldn't come out, and Sam literally had to pull him out, and he wasn't, he just seemed really weak and lethargic. I left for work, and not 10 minutes later after I left, Sam called me and said that Hercules wasn't feeling this, he didn't seem the same, he was weak and all these things. And so I told Sam, I was like, well, keep an eye on him, and if it doesn't improve, take him to the vet. So Sam said, okay. Got to work. It takes me about 20-25 minutes to get to work, and by then Sam was already at the vet. He had already, taken Herks into the vet, and I was at work, and just the feeling of, that feeling that you can't leave because you have this obligation. And I was the only supervisor that day, so I couldn't leave. People were counting on me, and it was just so hard to just focus that day. Once my shift ended, I came back home. I work a 10-hour shift, by the way, so that was like so heart-wrenching to know that Hercules wasn't feeling good and not know what's going on, and you're thinking all these things, and what if I had done this sooner, and what if. They admitted Hercules into the hospital, and they started running tests, and told them that whatever amount we'll pay, and we're not in a position to pay like thousands and thousands of dollars. We were able to figure something out and told them to run the test so that we could figure out what's going on, so that we can get Hercules home. And so they started running tests, and they were thinking, well, maybe it could be this, maybe it could be this. And what it at the time it pointed to was a kidney infection, because they were able to check his urine or something, I don't know what, and they found that he had bacteria, just a ridiculous amount of bacteria in his urine. So they were thinking, well, maybe it's affecting his kidney. If it is affecting his kidney, we don't know if it's just an infection or if it's a kidney failure, but we got to run tests. So okay, run the test. So they're running the test. Today's day 4 since he's been in the hospital, and the first day he was just lethargic, just not interested, and they said that on the second day he ate in the morning. On the second day of him being there, which was Monday morning, he ate half of whatever amount they served him. He went back to sleep and just resting, and he's hooked up to an IV, and he has a catheter and all these things. And he went that morning all the way to the evening. We saw him again that evening. He didn't want to eat with us. He didn't eat anything. And then the next morning they said that he still hadn't eaten, and of course he needs energy to fight whatever is going on with him. So I started worrying, and I'm waiting for a phone call because they're supposed to tell us what exactly it is, because they're waiting for test results. And I got the call yesterday, and yesterday was my Friday at work, and I was waiting by the phone and constantly checking my cell phone, which was hard in itself because I put his photo as my, my screensaver, and every time I looked at my phone, I just saw him the way he always has, big eyes and ears perking up and stuff like that. And but anyway, that was hard, and I'm trying really hard to stay positive for him. But yesterday he had a seizure, and the doctors, she called and she said, he had a history of seizures, do you know? And I mean, he's adopted, and thankfully Sam is friends with the owners of his mom and dad, so Sam was supposed to inquire last night if, is there a history of seizures? But I don't know the answer to that because Sam went to sleep. But that freaked me out. Of course, my little Hercules having a seizure, and I'm not there, and I got permission to leave work early, only 2 hours early, but still early. I came home, changed my clothes, got his sweater that he always wears, the sweater that he's worn previously. I don't know if you guys recall. Got his sweater and took the sweater to the pet hospital, and he came out, and he seemed like he's been for the past couple of days, just really lethargic. But when he sees us, I know that he recognizes us, recognizes us, and he kind of peps up, his little tail starts wagging a little bit, so I know he sees us and he's happy that we're there. But oh my god, it's just so awful to see him like that. I'm a dog lover. My husband and I are dog lovers. I know some people probably think, well, it's just a dog. But there are reasons why we have dogs, and I'm not going to get into it right now. There are babies, Bandit and Hercules. We got Bandit about a year before Sam and I got married, so Bandit's been with us longer than Hercules, and we got Hercules like a month before we got married. And after we got married, instead of going on a honeymoon, we moved. Sam and I, we didn't live together before we got married, so instead of going to a honeymoon, we took 2 weeks and we moved in together, and we set up our apartment. And during those 2 weeks, Hercules wasn't house trained, so during those 2 weeks, in the middle of all that, we house trained him. We got him from piddling, on the floors to not piddling on the floors at all within 2 weeks. And a lot of people were surprised because he's a Chihuahua. He's gonna have a little tiny bladder, and I just remember when he was just a little puppy, and the way he used to pee, he used to put his butt down and pee like a girl dog, I guess. I don't know. And I mean, before I knew it, he was lifting his leg on bushes, and I don't know. It seems like it's such a silly thing to I don't know, remember those things when your dog is just a little puppy and you see him growing into a big dog, or a version of a big dog. I don't know. It's always just been the four of us. Like, we're a unit, the four of us. It's me, Sam, Bandit, and Hercules. We're a unit. Everybody knows that we're a unit, and I just can't imagine not having Hercules with us. And I know he's fighting, and I know he feels our energy when we come in, and I'm telling Hercules, take my energy, please, just fight whatever this is. But they think that maybe, they're not sure yet, they're running tests, but they think it may be Addison's disease. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, I've been looking it up, I've been watching videos on it for canines, and I know that it's treatable and it's manageable, but I don't think, if that's what it is, he'll be 100% the Hercules that we know. and that just breaks my heart. I know he'll be fine if it is. We'll do whatever we can, but oh, you just have all these things running through your head to worry and wondering if he's comfortable, if he's in pain. And I know there are people that are going to watch this, and I know that people are thinking, he's just a dog, you know, he's just a dog. He's not just a dog. He's not. And Bandit, Hercules, they're much more than dogs to us. There are fur babies. There are, you know, in Navajo culture they say that you're not supposed to call your dogs or your animals your babies or your kids or your children, but I've pretty much gone against a lot of things in the Navajo culture. Hercules and Bandit are kids, they're babies, they're family. And because we took them in, because we agreed to put a roof over their head, we agreed to feed them, and we agreed to, you know, have them live with us, we committed to making sure that they're safe and they're healthy and they're, you know, getting the exercise they need and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of people don't get when they adopt an animal. Yeah, they're cute and they're fun, they're fun to play with, but there's the downside of it all, just like what's going on now. And if you're gonna adopt, and I'm not trying to deter anybody from adopting an animal, if you're gonna adopt, understand that there are times when you're gonna have to, when the times aren't gonna be as fun like right now, and it's gonna be up to you. They're gonna be counting on you to take care of them, to get them what they need, because they can't do that on their own. And I tell myself, and I tell Sam this too, they would do it for you. I know that, I mean, God forbid if I were sick and in the hospital and the roles were reversed, I know Hercules would do that for me easily. He wouldn't think about money, he wouldn't think about, you know, all these things. He would just do it. And I know Bandit would too. And it's just hard to be positive, and when you don't know what it is, especially since he's had a seizure, especially if they're thinking it's Addison's disease. It's just, I don't know, I feel like we've gone, like last week he was running around and he was, you know, he wasn't peppy like he used to be, but he was running around and playing with his brother and this and that. But there was still a time where he would just kind of sit there not interested, but then, you know, like I said, the next minute later he'd be curious, wanting to play. So I don't know, I feel like I should have done something sooner, but I didn't know. And I'm just really glad that Sam took him in when he saw that something was up. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm gonna try to vlog, only because I can't just close myself in on this. I know that thinking about it all the time, I'm just gonna drive myself crazy. And if I just stay home and just sit and think, my mind's gonna go to dark places. And I know right now I need to be positive for my little Hercules. But I'm getting ready now. I'm gonna go see him at the hospital, so I'll try to show some clips of him. So please just keep Hercules in your thoughts and prayers. I know there's a lot of dog lovers out there, so I'm asking you to do that. So I'll check in when I get to the hospital. I have some ground beef right here for Hercules. Hopefully he can eat some of this. And we're just trying to see if that ground beef that I brought is okay to feed him. So he's right here. And honestly, him doing this, perching himself up, he wasn't able to do that the past couple of days. And the nurse said that he ate last night, so that makes me feel a lot better.